Hello and welcome to the Household of Faith. This is our Homegrown Series, and today I'm going to be showing you some transplanting, and these are just sweet potato vines, the kind that you buy. They're not edible. Well, you can eat them. Honestly, yes, you can eat the sweet potatoes if you have them in a pot that's large enough for them to grow, or if you put them in the ground. They don't have the real flavor of a regular sweet potato that you can grow from slips, but they grow pretty much the same. All right, and this, of course, is the chartreuse one, which is very, very popular. That beautiful chartreuse limey green color. And these are the purple ones. As you can see, the leaves look very different. Okay, they come out green and they'll turn purple. Sometimes they'll come out a little purplish, but I love them. I just think that they're just gorgeous. So I've been rooting them, and they don't take long to root. Within a couple of days, you really do have roots. So I need to put these to the side for a minute because I've got two pots that are pretty much ready to go. So I'm going to put those over there for now. And I'm going to go ahead and finish the dirt. Again, they're ornamental plants. I went to a local plant store. Actually, it's a chain store called Callaway's. And I'm always looking at the nurseries. I'm always looking for something that I look at that. Look at those roots on there. I'm always looking for a new way to display my plants, and why not start at a nursery? What else are they good for if you don't buy anything? Sometimes just go eye shopping and get some ideas. Look around at your neighbors. Look at that. Beautiful. Don't be afraid when you root these to stick it down where the stem is in the water. Don't be scared to do that. I know a lot of leaves will rot, these won't. And honestly, the main reason that they won't is because they're not going to be in the dirt that long. Okay? So look at that one, all the way up. And you want to go ahead and put as much of that in the dirt as possible. This one doesn't have any really burnt or brown leaves on it. There's a couple of them that do. Not a big deal. Pick them off. Throw them in another pot with some dirt, and they can become some they'll turn into hummus. Okay, there's one, and I think I have three more. All right. So I'm going to take, these are actually going to end up growing out front. Look at that. Okay, this one here is brown. I'm going to go ahead and pull it off now because I would rather not have it showing. See how I cut that? And this was a long vine. I just cut it into multiple pieces. No big issue. I'm not sure how much of this you can actually see. Okay, here's another one. And funny because this is all there was of this one. I'm going to leave that in the water because I want to put that in a smaller pot. This one's got to come off too. You are going to lose some leaves. So if any of you have ever rooted a plant before, you know you're going to lose some of the leaves. It's not a big deal. Okay. All right. Those and this is kind of wonky. Look at that. And these have grown since I put them in the water. I'm going to save those for a smaller pot. So I'm going to put these to the side. And this is good enough. This really is good enough to start. Where's my dirt? So they don't take anything special. Simply cover them up with dirt. These, you know what, honestly, if you can get them, these make some really, really beautiful plants. They add a lot of color to a green landscape, and so do the chartreuse colored ones as well. That is really all there is. I'm pressing them down, and I may add a little bit more dirt because I can see some roots. It's not the end of the world to still see roots. Let me just say that, okay? Alrighty then. So I'm going to add a little bit more dirt to this. And I've just got a little bit of potting soil. I'm just going to sprinkle on the top. Now, I'm going to sit this. All right. I was at a crafting thing at the library last night, and I made these plant hangers. They're small. I honestly I did cut them a little shorter than I should have. But it's okay. I'm not going to worry about that now. And the wonderful thing about it, and I think I did do a demonstration on making the plant hangers, especially like this one, it's just a few knots here and there. Once you join it to the ring, there's knots here. So there would be one set, two set, bottom knot to hold the plant in. I'm going to see if I can get this in here really quickly. I know it can be a little bit challenging at times. I had closed it up, which sometimes I don't do. Let me see if I can get this out of here. Yeah, this is the part that always gets me because it never ever really wants to do right. Okay, there you go. All right, so I need to open this up, and I know you may not be able to see all of this. Okay, put this down. This is the center of the bottle. So you want to sit your pot pretty much right on that knot. Now, I really should have a saucer underneath it. I really should, but and that will help your and this is 100% cotton yarn here. That will really help your material stay good a lot longer. And I'm going to show you two ways to do this. I'm going to show you a different way with the other one. Trying to do this in real time, but I'm not wanting to take up too much time doing it. All right, there it is in its perfect little hanging pot. You see, that wasn't really that hard. Okay, so this I'm going to go ahead and put to the side, and then we're going to work on the other one. All right, one moment. All right, back. It's kind of challenging, to say the least, when you are, you're on camera. You're trying to do stuff in a timely fashion, but let me just be frank with you guys. There's been videos that I watched, and they said, "Oh, I'll come back and and it's like I didn't quite get it." Now, what I wanted to show you, I did put those leaves in here. This is a banana peeling. I do my banana three things with the banana. Well, four. I either bake it, and I usually will cut it up into smaller pieces and then bake it, or I will put one in water. I may put the banana when I've just eaten it, and it hasn't dried at all, and I'll put it right in the pot. Or I will do like I did these. I took these and I just threw them out. Well, placed them in the sun, okay, to let them dry in the sun. Now I'm going to take a little bit of this good dirt I've got here. Hold on. I need my trawl. Okay. All right. So, and I've got some dirt that's here, kind of off camera. All right. Just going to put that in the bottom. Not a whole lot. Now this baby, look at those roots. Look at them. Aren't they beautiful? All right. This because it's a different variety and they grow differently. It's up to you what you want. This is only four, where you have a lot more of the purple plants than you do of this one. But because of how the leaves grow, they're much wider. This technically can be one on its own. Okay? But I've got four of these. And this is the smaller one. So I'm going to take this, which is the largest one. I'm going to poke it in there ever so slightly. Okay? And here's another good tall one. And so you got, see all of these areas where you have roots? All the way up to here. I'm not going to worry about the roots that are coming all the way up here. As a matter of fact, I'm just going to pinch that off because it's not, we don't really need it. We don't really need this one either. So I'm going to pinch those off too. I hope you saw that. And I'm going to go ahead and kind of poke that in the dirt a little bit. Okay. And then I think I'm going to keep this one for one by itself. This is another good big one, so I definitely want this one to go in here. 3 in a size pot. This is still a 6-inch pot, no matter what. All right, and you should be able to see that pretty good. I do need to get a little bit more dirt. I'm not far, but I am off camera. All right then. And I know I wouldn't talk. All right, here we go. So, no, I do not add any fertilizer or anything to these. It's not that serious. Let me just be honest about it. I'm not going to eat them. They're going to grow no matter what. They are really hardy. They are hard to kill, not impossible. There's a difference between being hard to kill and impossible. No plant is impossible to kill. Every living thing can die. That's just a fact. So, when I'm putting this in, the transition from rooting plants, and I didn't say this before, and I may have not have mentioned it in the past, the transition that your plants go through when you root them from water, and then you're going to take them and you're going to be putting them in soil, can be traumatic on the plant. The main thing you need to remember is that they've been living in water. You need to water them heavily. Do not let the soil dry out for about the first week, and then you can start cutting back on the water. Let me tell you something. I live in the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex, and it is August 27th, I believe. Sorry. I don't look at my calendar as much as I should. It's going to be hot. Now, they say we're going to get some cooler weather. Oh, wonderful. I hope that we do. But if we do not get cooler weather, okay, they need to be wet for about the first week, and then you can start cutting back on the water. I have to water almost everything twice a day. If the leaves look wilted, water them. It's just that simple. Once you get them in, once the temperature changes, you won't have to water them as much. They will look droopy when they need water. They just came out of the water as you saw, but they will, but they're outside in the heat. They had been in the house, so they were looking beautiful and fluffy. But and within a day or two, they'll perk right on up. All right. So I've got one more thing I want to show you about this whole thing. So I'm going to move these out of the way. And this one, which I kept, stop. Remember, I'm going to, it should go back in the water, but I think what I'm going to end up doing is combining this one with these. Now, the squirrels. Yeah. they will eat these. I had some in pots and hanging on the tree. Squirrels ate them down to the dirt. They would even dig it up and eat them. So just be aware that the squirrels like them as well. They don't bother the regular sweet potato plant, but you can grow, when you go to the grocery store, let me put it this way. You can see multiple kinds of sweet potatoes, right? Well, they all look different when they grow. If they look the same, if it's the same species of sweet potatoes, it's going to grow the same and the leaves are going to look the same. Last year I grew sweet potatoes, and let me tell you, the leaves were big and beautiful. This year I'm growing a different kind of sweet potatoes. These leaves are not nearly as big. They're not as big, they're a different shape, they don't grow as well, and they are, well, one of the reasons why they don't grow as well because they're in a much more sunny spot than they were last year. I'll give them that. But the other thing is that they look more like, the shape of the ones look more like the purple ones. They don't look like these green ones. The ones I grew last year look more like the chartreuse colored ones. Like I said, you can just take a sweet potato. When it starts to grow slips on it, let it grow a little bit till the slips get about 2 inches. Put them in some water. Once you see the same kind of roots, go ahead. You can leave them in water indefinitely, and they will continue to grow. If you want to put them outside, then you are going to have to um, put them in some dirt. You know what? I forgot. I'm sorry. I just got busy ready to do the next one, and I forgot to put this pot in the hanger. This one's going to be a lot more tricky simply because of the fact that it is, yeah, I'm not even going to worry about this one. I have another hanger in the house that I made. I'm going to use that one because that's going to be a little tight. All right. I do need to get some more dirt, and then I'm not sure. You know what? No, I think I'm going to go ahead and close because we've probably been on here for a while. All right, so here and here. All right, then I decided to go. I decided to go in the house and get the plant hanger that I've made before. Now, this plant hanger here, is the same one that I made a video showing how I made it. And I remember I put it in a wider pot. So this is going to do just fine for this one. The best thing, like I said, when you're making these plant hangers is to have the same, the pot if you can. If not, oh, good Lord. If you can't have the actual pot, get one like it or of comparable size. All right, there we go. And we just sit that right in there. Come on. Okay. And I was going to untie it and do it from the bottom, but I'm not going to go through all of that. That is a way to do it, and sometimes it does shorten the process that you got to go through with all of this. And you know what? Yeah, I'm going to do it. I think I ended up having to do the same thing when I was making the video because it just didn't want to act right. And you know what? That's fine. Okay, so I'm just going to untie this bottom knot, which is what the plant itself rests on. Oh, goodness. Okay. I can get that untangled pretty easy. I know. This Butterfingers. Okay, here we go. Now, I just need, yeah, I need to get the 3 parts, get them together, So we'll start here and we'll go ahead and separate them. If you can keep it from being tangled, it's going to be better, because sometimes it's not as easy to put them on. And mainly because I didn't leave much wiggle room. Honestly, that's the real problem right there. Okay, so I believe I have this thing untangled. I'm trying to put it somewhere where I can stretch it out. There. And I'm just going to put it over the top. So this is what I was going to show you. Okay. And these leaves are very fragile. Don't even think that they're not, because they are. And what we want to do is we want to place them gently through there. Because you want to, not want to damage your plant if you don't have to. All right, and this one will go over on this side because these are lower knots. All right, and I'm going to turn it on its side. This is why I don't like to do this way when a plant is actually in the pot, because you got dirt and it's going to get everywhere. And then you're just going to tie the bottom of it up. That's all. So that's all you're really going to do. And you can pot it with the plant hanger on it. All right, so this is not going to hang that low, but this is a little bigger, and I want to give it a little bit more wiggle room than the other ones. You just pull it tight, that's it. All right, now I'm going to sit it up, grab it, the ring, make sure it's not in there. Come on, baby. Get back this way a little bit. All right, then. And here we are. It's in there. A little adjusting here and there, but yeah, that's it. So, this potted, just adjust it a little bit so it's straight. It's sitting in there straight. You may have to re-knot it, but that's all there is to it. It's not a big deal. And let me just be frank about it. The more you make of these, the better you'll get. All right? So, now we're done. I am going to do another video and show you guys where I hung these up at so you can see them. Okay? All right, and I'm not going to mess with this anymore because, as you can see, the leaves are wilted and they're very soft and very fragile at this moment. Okay, then. That's it for that, and I do have another project coming up, and I will share that with you next time. I should be, and this is the thing about the sequence. I have some amaryllis that I need to transplant, okay, into larger pots, because I have 4 or 5. They were all outgrown where they are. They're not blooming anymore this year. It's late August, but I want them to be ready for next year. So I'm going to go ahead and end this, and we're going to thank God for what He's blessed us with. Thank Him for the knowledge that He's given us and how to grow. Like I said, it's not just about growing food, it's about growing anything that you want to grow. Houseplants, food, ornamentals, they all take the same kind of care. There's almost no difference, but there is some other things that you will want to add to the soil if you're growing something to eat. The things that you grow for food do need a little extra. And when you see me adding fertilizer and things like that, that's because it's food. This doesn't get fish emulsion water. Nope, I'm not going to eat this. There's no reason to waste it on these plants. Just water them, fling them out there where they can get bright, hopefully more indirect light, but they can take some sunlight, but not full sun. About 4 hours a day is good for them. Okay? God bless you. Have a wonderful day. Remember to comment, to like, to subscribe to the videos. Unlike, don't like if you don't like it. Tell us why. We want to be able to grow and learn along with you. I'm only sharing with you what I know and what I've learned along the way. For the years that I've been gardening, I have learned a lot. There are a lot of other people on YouTube that I look at their channels and I listen to what they say. I have to limit them to people who are growing things in the environment, the zone that I'm in because of how some things just don't apply. I don't live in Michigan, I live in Texas. Temperature, climate, everything, humidity, everything's completely different. It's very humid here. A lot of people don't realize that Texas is hot, but it's very humid. So you have a lot of tropical plants that can survive. And I'm not in the Houston or San Antonio area. I'm in the Dallas Fort Worth Metroplex. But it's very humid here, trust me. So if you have a plant that needs humidity, it can survive here, but you have to be concerned about the sun. Most plants that like a lot of humidity do not want the sun. Some of them most of them want a mixture. So if you got a shady spot, you can still grow. I've got pecan trees, so I have to be careful about what I'm growing, and I have to watch out for them because the squirrels are just horrendous. No questions later. Personally, I don't think they're all that cute because I'm daily seeing the damage that they do. So I'm not squirrel friendly. I'm not pet friendly. I'm not child friendly. And I don't mean that I mean, I have, grandchildren or whatever, not, children, but I'm saying they don't live in the house with me. I don't have any pets, so I don't have to worry about if it's toxic or not. That's what I'm talking about when I say I'm not pet friendly or child friendly. So a lot of my stuff, if I had a child around, it would be very different. But then I believe that children should be trained. I don't believe that I should be moving things out of their way. I think that they should be taught to understand that. That's a whole nother area that we get off into. But that's just about life. All right. God bless you guys. Thank you so much for watching, and we will see you next time.